They got a lot of green girls there. So now you got two pros in the ring, and Charlotte's more of a pro than Ronda is at this point. But you can almost bet that that's money in the bank right there waiting on you. All you got to do is cash the check.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3, back once again with another edition of Smack Talk on Wrestle Binge by Sportskeeda Wrestling. So, of course, it's Smack Talk. You know who it is. It's the legend himself of the wrestling business, manager, wrestler, author extraordinaire, creative mind, Dutch Mantell. How are you doing? Happy New Year. Happy holidays to you, Dutch.
Well, happy New Year to you too, and all the people we have listening in. Let's start a new year. If you're really interested in wrestling, which most of you are, you wouldn't be listening to our bull crap. But anyway, here's a book I wrote, Tales from a Dirt Road, which is uh, funny stories and anecdotes that happened to me while I was on the road and in different territories. And this goes back to when I first started, and it's about 230 pages. The other's about 330 pages. So a good read. And Steve Austin texted me one time. He said, "You son of a bitch." I said, "What?" He said, "When I get a book," he said, "I'll start it and I'll go 20, 15 pages or whatever. Then I put it down." He said, "With your book," he said, "I read the whole thing all the way through both times." And it's because my book is not written in a long story and like a linear form. It's written in like, this happened in 1982, and this happened in 1998, and this happened whenever. So it's all self-contained stories that you could sit down. It's actually a great bathroom book, really. You can sit down and read and it's not even a coffee table book. It's called a drinking book, but you can just, and people know of the people I talk about in here and all the territories I've been. To me, I even sit down sometimes and pick up the book and read it myself and forgot that I wrote it. I said, "Damn, what a great writer this guy is." And then I have to look at the author. So, all right, so that's it. So what's
There you
new?
go. Well, we gotta talk about some SmackDown since it's Smack Talk. We weren't able to go live after the December 30th final edition of SmackDown, following of 2022. And the big news on a night that was heavily promoted, we were gonna have the return of John Cena teaming up with Kevin Owens to verse Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn. The big talking point was another return, Dutch, as Charlotte Flair made her return to SmackDown, coming out after Ronda Rousey went 15 minutes in a hard, grueling matchup with Raquel Rodriguez, probably one of Ronda's best matches of 2022. And then she was challenged by a babyface Charlotte Flair, not the Charlotte Flair that left that was a heel, a babyface Charlotte Flair, who asked for a title shot right after the champion went through a 15-minute battle, and the heel champion accepted, yes. And then
Yep.
Charlotte won in a few minutes. So I will ask you, what's your reaction to the entire segment in a vacuum? I mean, the reason why I kind of said it in that way is that the actions of these people do not fit their roles. If
Yeah.
Charlotte's coming back as a baby face, she should not be basically beating up on a weakened champion, and the weakened champion who's a heel shouldn't be a fighting champion who just accepts a challenge right after they went through a battle. So
Okay.
that confused me, but in a vacuum, it worked and got a big reaction from that Tampa
Well,
crowd.
it was the end of the season, end of the year. It was a holiday weekend, and I actually loved it because now we're not going to see the same Ronda Rousey with the belt, and we'll see Charlotte Flair with the belt. Now they got a whole new direction to go. That's why they did it. I think it was a brilliant move. And Ronda can always say, "Well, hey, I went 15 minutes with Yohu over here, and then you come out and you challenge me. You didn't get me at my best, so you gonna call that a win?" And the part is, she'll be right. And the people thinking about that, well, she did. That's the way it happened. So you could look at it that way. So I thought it was a good move. I think it helped Charlotte's return, because it damn sure couldn't hurt it. It's going to help her return, and I don't think it hurt Ronda Rousey at all. Because
No, I don't think it hurt.
looking forward to her going against Charlotte Flair, because Raquel is Raquel right now, and that Irma girl or Emma or whatever her name, she's Emma, and they got a lot of green girls there. So now you got two pros in the ring, and Charlotte's more of a pro than Ronda is at this point. But you can almost bet that that's money in the bank right there waiting on you. All you got to do is cash the check.
I just don't know, and I me myself, I wouldn't call it a new direction, because it's just the direction we were in April. Right back to Charlotte being the champion, and the only other star on the roster is Ronda Rousey. I don't think that really solves the issue. It just freshens it up than what it's been the last couple of months. But a babyface Charlotte, historically, she's been in this company for 10 years. Babyface Charlotte has never worked. Do you think it will work this time?
I don't know. That's why we play the game, right? Let's change the play. Hey, if I'm a football coach and I'm sitting there and there's 34 power left not working, well, it's never worked before, coach. Yeah, but we got a different left tackle and a guard. Let's try it. And you know how, if it works or not, you run the play. And when you run the play and it might work, now you might have an answer. What are you looking at? Somebody creeping up on you in there? You were doing your eyes this way. I said, oh, well, it could be a murder happening here or something.
No, just my daughter in the room. That's all.
But I used to tell guys they didn't like something that I gave them to do. I said, run the play. Just run the play. And if it don't work, guess what? We'll run another play. You got 51 weeks to run plays. And I think people do center and concentrate on the moment more intensely than they should, because who will remember that a year from now or 6 months from now, unless they replay a video? Nobody.
I mean, a lot of fans remembered Becky Lynch coming in and doing what she did to Bianca Belair at SummerSlam. So I wouldn't say it's out of the realm of possibility that fans will remember Charlotte Flair just coming in and coming back and just winning in the fashion that she did. I just think that, I don't know if babyface Charlotte was the play to freshen things up on SmackDown. I'd much rather had preferred it if it was Becky Lynch this time. Becky Lynch coming in and challenging Ronda in that matter, and Ronda accepting it. I think it would have made more sense than Charlotte being in that position.
Who is the babyface on SmackDown of the females?
Raquel, Shotzi, Liv Morgan.
You know what they'll draw you?
Not much.
Nothing. But Charlotte may, because she filled a position that needed to be filled. Ronda needed an opponent. If they try to run her again with Raquel on a house show or live event, no, that wouldn't excite anybody, or even on TV, nothing. And even on Liv, they know who's going to win, kind of. And if she doesn't win, they hurt themselves worse. But with Charlotte, now you have a whole different setup. You have a totally different outlook, and who knows what they can do with it. It's like, let's give them the clay. Let's see what they're made of it. And we'll know in 2 or 3 weeks whether it worked or not.
I don't know. I just don't feel the best about this situation, mainly because, like I said, it just reverts back to where we were in April. And if you remember, in January of 2022, there literally was no challengers for Charlotte, to the point that the SmackDown Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair, had to be in the Royal Rumble. And I think just putting her back on SmackDown and trying to say you're freshening things up because Ronda had gotten stale, I think we're a few months away from Charlotte being stale again. I don't think this is the solution to the SmackDown roster that like I said, if this was Becky Lynch instead of Charlotte Flair, then we have a new situation, because Becky hasn't worked with a lot of these women like Raquel, like Shotzi, like it's been since WrestleMania 36 and she worked with Shayna Baszler. It's been through since WrestleMania 35 she worked with Ronda Rousey. It would have freshened things up a lot more, and I would be optimistic about the future, especially because Becky Lynch is such a better babyface than she is as a heel. On the juxtaposition, Charlotte is so much better of a heel than a babyface.
You tell that child of yours, I'm going to send another kid over there and let them work a big angle in your living room there. We'll pipe them down. No, but anyway, let's see what he does. I think that you overthink sometimes a little more, but of course you're on the show, so that's your job to overthink. I don't overthink. I just go, let's shoot it, let's go. If it don't work, well, hey, I'm back to my. I learned that saying a long time ago. Hey, there's 51 more weeks this year. We got 51 more shows, and if it ain't right, we'll fix it somehow, some way. And a lot of times, that's why a lot of bookers just fall into stuff by accident. They're trying to fix another mistake they made back here, and all of a sudden something else happens, and the people pop, and they said, well, that might be the answer. And a lot of times it is. I've seen it happen 100 times.
Yeah, it just says they have to make it work. We will see. We will see how they kind of freshen up the SmackDown Women's Division now that Charlotte Flair is the new champion.